Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to this week's episode of Gazzetta Dello FIVE. You got here myself, Joel Beya, Stephen Howson, and the man in whom we trust. Let's go, Fabrizio Romano. How you doing? You okay?
Oh, guys, I'm okay. I'm okay as always. Thank you as always. Pleasure
Good,
to be
man.
together.
Listen, man, I love this part of the week, man. We get to like poke and find out what's going on. And then I go back to my WhatsApp group and I say, because Fab told me. And no one can argue with that. Okay,
Thank you.
so you guys putting in the fan comments, we absolutely love them. Keep them going. Stay tuned to the end of the episode and you'll see if you've been selected. Steve, do you want to kick us off with anything?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I absolutely do.
On then,
listen, Fab, I know you've been tweeting about it. There's talk that United have met with Erik ten Hag. I want to know how far down the line that is, and I want to know who else is about to get interviewed. Or do you think United are probably going to interview him and the rest of them are a bit more of a smokescreen?
So to begin with Erik ten Hag, yes, Man United had an interview with him. It was a direct meeting with Erik ten Hag. And it was a positive meeting from what I'm told. So they were quite happy with the feelings they had with Erik ten Hag. With his English level is a key point, because last summer Tottenham wanted to appoint him, but his English level was a disaster, let's say like this. So this is why at the end the interview was not going through. But now the situation has completely changed. He's studying English. His approach is completely different. He's doing fantastic with Ajax since a long time, we have to say. And so on sport and side of the story, they are super intrigued by this possibility for Erik ten Hag at Man United. He has a lot of fans into the board thinking that he could be the right person for Man United style, for his ideas of tactics, of the system. So the meeting was quite positive. He asked so on Ten Hag's side about Man United budget, about Man United potential ideas for new signings. So it was a positive meeting between the two parts. Man United are happy with the feelings they had with him, but they told him that nothing has been decided yet. So we have to keep this story still open. Talking about other candidates, Mauricio Pochettino is still in the list. He's still one of the candidates that Man United will meet and will discuss with in the coming days, weeks, because they want to have an answer as soon as possible. So Pochettino has to be considered part of this list. I still have no confirmations on the name of Thomas Tuchel. As I told you last week, a lot of rumors, of course, because of Chelsea's situation. And of course, he will be appreciated by top clubs. But at the moment, also on Tuchel's side, there is no intention to discuss his future now in March. It will take some time. So at the moment, he's still quiet on Tuchel's side. And another name that Man United explored is Julen Lopetegui, manager of Sevilla. Is a manager that was already proposed in November. Then Man United decided to go with the interim manager and then to discuss this new project in the coming months. But now is one of the names that Man United have in their list. Is not top of the list, honestly. So top of the list has always been Ten Hag or Pochettino. But Lopetegui is another name that we have to keep in the race. So nothing has been decided yet. This has been the message from Man United to Erik ten Hag also during the meeting. But this meeting was good. Was a pretty nice one on Ten Hag's side also. He was happy with this possibility. He would be happy to try something in Premier League football after spending many years at top level with Ajax. So on Ten Hag's side, he would be available for this new challenge. And let me remind that the only manager that's been mentioned by Ralf Rangnick in public in these 4 or 5 months at Man United has been Erik ten Hag. The only one he spoke in public was Erik ten Hag. So it could be a message. Let's see what Man United will decide. But this meeting is a first step to say who will be the new Man United manager in the coming weeks.
When are we expecting a final decision? There was a lot of talk at the end of March. That's obviously a week away. So are we getting an answer next week? Will it be public or will it be privately? They've made a decision. We'll announce at a later date, do you think?
Maybe it could be too early. I think end of March, they're still in the process. Let's see. Let's see how it will end up. I will keep it open, but maybe it could be too early. But I'm sure that in like 2-3 weeks, they hope to complete the process. And then I don't know, honestly, if it'll be public or not. This is not, there is no answer on the club side about this. But of course, maybe with Pochettino will be more difficult and with Ten Hag will be easier because of his Ajax situation. So it's completely different relationship also between clubs. Man United have very good relationship with Ajax, thanks to Edwin van der Sar, of course. So this is why I don't see big issues on Ten Hag's side. It's up to the manager and up to the club. So on manager side, I'm told that Ten Hag would be happy to try this Premier League experience, but now it's up to Man United to decide about him. So let's see how long it will take, but it's not going to be end of May or this kind of things.
Wow, that's really good stuff. Thank you, man, Romano. That's good breaking stuff. And you know what? For once, Steve isn't too upset. I'm gonna stick on the Man United topic. I saw breaking online as well. I saw it on our Sports Bible page. Massive shout out to the guys at Sport Bible. We've got a good relationship with them. Paul Pogba reporting the news that he has been depressed during times and, whilst his playing career. And we know that sometimes players go through a lot. But there was also more that was said by Paul Pogba during the course of the week on joining Paris Saint-Germain. And he said, why not? It's always nice to play with your teammates in the national team and club, tells Figaro via Hardien Grenier. I don't know if it's going to be with Man United or another club, but I want to win trophies. He's 29 years old, 16 games, 1 goal, 9 assists in the Premier League so far this season. Talk to us about Paul Pogba.
Yes, first point, let me clarify in this interview that the question was quite strange because the question was about Paris Saint-Germain, but was about Kylian Mbappé. So they asked him if he wants to play with Kylian Mbappé, and he answered it would be nice to be teammate with Kylian in same club and national team. So it was a bit different, the message, but yes, Paul Pogba in this interview was totally honest. As you mentioned also in the final part, saying that he wants to win trophies. He's not happy with this kind of what happened in the last 5-6 years with Man United. So Pogba has been quite open in this interview. When he says, I don't know if it's going to be Man United or another club, is because he knows that at the moment the situation is still absolutely open. Pogba is not going to decide now. I always told you it's going to be end of the season. Pogba is taking his time. Pogba is not deciding in March or not even in April, I'm told. It's going to be end of the season. But at the same point, he has not so many possibilities, because of his salary. Now there are not so many clubs that could pay the salary, that could afford the salary. I see many links about Italian clubs, German clubs, but it's really complicated to pay around 15, 16 million euros net per season as a salary. It's something that is going to be very difficult. So this is why he's keeping it open. He knows that Man United made him a proposal. It was last July, and he was not convinced about that proposal. He wanted to wait. So let's see, but a lot of this will depend on Man United project. And I'm not sure that it's going to be easy for him to find a solution in the coming weeks. This is why he wants to wait. He wants to wait because we don't know who will be the manager of Paris Saint-Germain. He wants to wait because we don't know what's next with Man United manager. So I think it makes sense for him to wait, but I don't know if it makes sense for Man United. I'm asking Steve about this.
Honestly, he's depressed, is he? He wants to try being a fan of United at the moment. We're talking about depression. I disagree with you, Fab. I think he's made his mind up a long time ago. The one thing that he might need to make his mind up is on which club he's going to play for next. But I think his mind's made up on not staying at United. Otherwise, he would have signed a contract with us a long time ago. You don't get into the last week in March before you make a new contract, not on a player worth as much as Paul Pogba. So I'm pretty sure Paul Pogba will not be a Manchester United player next season. I'm absolutely certain of that.
Mm-hmm. Steve, carry us on, please.
There's this young Argentinian kid coming through at Paris Saint-Germain that I think Barcelona are looking at. He's called Messi, I think is how you pronounce it. Anything on him signing for Barcelona, do you reckon?
No, at the moment, no. I'm still
not gonna like the league.
I'm still told that, of course, the situation with Paris Saint-Germain is not easy. They had different expectations. But at the moment, nothing is going on the sides. We have to remind that Barcelona are starting a new era. And so I think it's not going to be easy to see Leo Messi back at Barcelona. Then I can't say this is impossible because after what happened last summer with the contract ready to be signed with Barcelona and then him joining Paris Saint-Germain, everything is possible in football. But as of today, there is not a process for Leo Messi to come back to Barca. So at the moment, the situation is still quiet. And I will keep it open for transfers in general after last summer, but as of now, it's not something that is happening between Messi and Barca.
Do you think we're going to see a summer as crazy as last summer?
More crazy than last summer, I think.
With the free agents, yes, it's crazy, isn't it?
Exactly, because last summer we had Cristiano and Messi, of course, it's been huge, also with Grealish, Lukaku, many top names. But now it's time for the new generation. I think this summer will be the summer of the new generation. So Erling Haaland, Kylian Mbappé, and as you mentioned, Joe, many free agents moving. Dybala, Dembele, Pogba, Cavani, Luis Suarez. How many players we have in their contracts? Angel Di Maria, many players. Many of them are at the end of their careers, but many of them no. Paulo Dybala is 29 and he's going to leave Juventus on a free. So it's going to be another huge one.
Rudiger, all these guys.
Someone can build a Champions League contending squad.
With the
they'll be on some serious wages, but you could do it with no transfer fees this summer. That's wild.
Yeah, it's crazy. I wanted to quickly go back to the Messi part. It looks like Xavi, Dani Alves. It feels to me like they're kind of fueling some of this. I don't know. Xavi said Leo Messi is the best player in history and the doors will always be open here at Barca for him. He deserves a big tribute, and I can't say much more than that because he has a contract with PSG. You've said everything right there, mate, you know? And Dani Alves said, I hope Leo Messi can come back to Barca. For me, Leo isn't enjoying himself. For me, he's out of place there. I'm going to say something that Leo always told me. Where are you going to be better than here? He's right. I've experienced it. That's all I'm saying.
This is normal. I would say this is normal in Barcelona. In Barcelona, they always do like this. So for Dani Alves, Xavi, they always try to attract top player. And Messi is more than a top player. He's part of the club history. He's a legend. So I was expecting this kind of sentences from Barcelona legends, to be honest. But at the same point, we have to remind that there is an important contract and Barcelona financial situation is not easy. They're already planning for other transfers because Barcelona already signed Frank Kessie, is done as a free agent. Andreas Christensen is joining as free agent. He's not signed yet, but he's verbally agreed. They're working on Azpilicueta. They're working on Mazraoui. They're working on Rafinha from Leeds. He's a player that they want, and so they're in contact with his agent. So Barcelona are super busy with many transfers and with contracts, because for Barcelona, as we mentioned, free agents around. But also for Barcelona, it's important to clarify the situation of two players out of contract in June 2023. Gavi, that is maybe the best young talent in the world in the moment because he's doing fantastic and he's born in 2004. So it's incredible to remind about it. But he's playing as a starter in Barcelona. He's super young, but his contract runs out next season. So he's a dangerous one for Barca, but they're working on it and they're confident on it. And Araujo, the centre-back of Barcelona, has many Premier League clubs approaching him. Fantastic player, scoring in a Clásico, kind of Uruguayan player, 100% with his charisma. He's a fantastic player, but out of contract next year. So Barcelona know that they need to clarify their contract situations between jumping into super top names like Messi in this case.
I just want to add, Dembele. It looks like his fortunes have changed over there, innit? Him and the Aubameyang link-up. Would have loved to see that at Arsenal.
This is thanks to Xavi, let me say, because I still remember the feeling around Dembele on deadline day when he turned down many possibilities to stay in Barcelona till the end of the season. The fans were fighting him, were completely against him. It was a really complicated situation. And into the club, they say it's up to Xavi. For us, Dembele is not an important player. It's up to Xavi. And Xavi decided to protect him. Xavi decided to trust him and to play him, even if Barcelona fans were not happy with Dembele. This is why the manager makes the difference. Many times we speak about Man United and other clubs looking for the manager. This is how the manager makes the difference, to protect players in complicated situations and to change the history of some transfers, because Dembele was offered to 5-6 clubs on deadline day. They were trying to find every kind of solution, swap deals, loan deals, everything they had the possibility to do in England, in France, in every country. The player said no, and now he's a starter for Barcelona. And this is only thanks to Xavi.
I want to talk about Lewandowski. Do we actually believe he's going to leave Bayern?
I think there is a possibility. He's not sure, but there is a good chance for him to leave Bayern. Why? Because he wants the contract extension. So on Lewandowski's side is so clear. He wants a new deal or he wants to leave the club in the summer. This is about respect, because Paris Saint-Germain wanted him last summer and approached him last summer when the situation with Kylian Mbappé and Real Madrid was going to be serious, with Real Madrid making important proposals for Kylian Mbappé. So Lewandowski was top of the list for Paris Saint-Germain to replace Kylian Mbappé. But from Bayern's side, they said, no way, he's staying here. We want him to stay. So it was not even a negotiation between Bayern and Paris Saint-Germain. But on Lewandowski's side, he was waiting for Bayern to offer him a new deal. And it's like 8-9 months, and they're not offering him any new deal. So in public, they say, we want to continue with Lewandowski. But then in private, there is still no proposal on the table. So Lewandowski is waiting. If Bayern will offer him an important contract and a long-term contract, because the current one expires in 2023. So I expect the new deal to be around 2024. So an important contract for Lewandowski with his age. Or the player would be ready to try something new, to experience something new, maybe in England, maybe in Spain. So this is why we have to keep an eye on Robert Lewandowski this summer, I think, yes.
Wow, that fairy tale coming to an end.
Let's see, because we know that for Bayern he's a key player, so maybe they will make an effort to keep him at the club. But as of today, there are good chances for him to leave.
Wow. There's been quite a lot going on in the England squad, or for some, not a lot going on. Luke Shaw, Harry Maguire have been included. Jadon Sancho and Marcus Rashford had not been included in Gareth Southgate's squad. And he said this about Rashford, which I thought was interesting. From time to time, I do go and do that with players, meet them. He's especially talking about Rashford here. And he goes, in the last 8 squads, he has ended up pulling out of 5, actually 6, whilst Maguire has been in the team and a key part of the team for massive matches over a long period of time. For various reasons, Marcus has dropped out of it a little bit. We have players in that area of the pitch that are playing at a better level. So it is harsh, but that is the nature of elite sport, unfortunately. Now, when we're talking about that, surely that will, will cause something for Marcus Rashford, because it looks like he's lost his place in the England squad, and that's not good for Rashford as an athlete and also for his brand. And is that situation going to have to be changed forcefully? What are we talking about
But
here?
this is why Marcus Rashford is considering his future. This is exactly why, because of what you say about the national team and about Man United in general. He's not happy with lack of game time, and this is why he's considering his future together with his agent since 2 weeks. So this is what is happening for Rashford. He wants to wait to see who will be the manager. For example, we mentioned about Ten Hag. Ten Hag did a fantastic job with strikers at Ajax in the last few years, really producing talents every single season. Haller this season is scoring tons of goals. Anthony is one of the best wingers in the game, and he's doing fantastic job with talented strikers. So let's see, maybe for Rashford could be an opportunity to try something fresh and to restart his United life with Ten Hag. Or with another manager. Let's see, Pochettino had him in the list last summer. So everything is related to Man United manager. But at the same point, he's considering his future because he wants to play. He wants to feel and to be a starter. So national team is also important. He wants to be at the World Cup. Marcus wants to be at the World Cup. And with current situation, I'm not sure that he's going to be at the World Cup. So this is why he's considering his future. And this is why it's going to be interesting to see who will be the manager and what kind of project they will have. Then let me say my personal opinion. Okay, I can understand these sentences on Rashford, but I live in Italy, I live in Milano. And if you say this kind of sentences on Rashford, you have to call Fikayo Tomori for England. Let me say, Fikayo Tomori is the best centre-back we have in Serie A. By far, he's doing fantastic. And for me, it's absolutely crazy not to see Fikayo Tomori called up for England. Absolutely out of the world. If you watch one Serie A game, you will say Fikayo Tomori is unbelievable in difficult games, not in easy games. He did fantastic also with AC Milan this season in the group stage of Champions League in difficult games because they played Liverpool, they played Atletico Madrid, and Fikayo was always performing. So sometimes with the national team managers, you have nice words, but then different kind of treatment for players.
That's crazy. Last one before we read the fan questions that Steve's got lined up for us. Dybala, very interesting situation over there at Juve, right?
Leaves Juventus. Dybala leaves Juventus. Is 100% sure and confirmed. They had a meeting. They had an agreement. It was a verbal agreement in October to extend the contract, 10 million euros net per season. Then Juventus in December said, no, sorry, we're not going to sign the contract. Let's discuss again in March. And Dybala was not happy. Then they spent big money on Vlahovic. And so they decided to invest on Vlahovic and not on Dybala. So in the last meeting, a few days ago, they told Dybala that they are not going to extend this contract. And Dybala is ready to leave Juventus on a free. Now it's going to be a huge opportunity. I think for Premier League clubs, for La Liga clubs, Inter also in Serie A could be a possibility. It depends on the salary because Dybala wants 10 million euros net per season as a salary. And this is a huge salary for a player who had many injuries in the last few years. So this is why many clubs are really worried on this possible opportunity. Yes, but you have to check how you can trust Dybala in the long term. So this is why it's absolutely open. Now his agent is in Europe. He was in Europe to meet with Juventus, and he will be in Europe to meet with clubs. Everything will be open, but I think it's going to be an interesting one. Paulo Dybala will be another huge free agent for this summer.
Wow. Do the pleasures, Steve.
I'm just trying to find them.
Yeah.
We have got Nathan Pitchford says, hi guys, question for Fab. Is there anything in the rumours surrounding Ruben Neves to either Barcelona or United?
At the moment, no. He was on the United list last summer. He was one of the players they had in the list before deciding on spending their money on Cristiano Ronaldo and not on a defensive midfielder. But now there are no talks ongoing on Man United because we know that they're waiting for the manager, and on Barcelona because at the moment they have different priorities and they signed Kessie in that position on a free.
Okay. Second question, please, Steve.
Andrew says, question for Fabrizio. As Paul Mitchell has left the board at Monaco after being sacked, would he join Manchester United?
I see these rumors because he was together with Ralf Rangnick on a youth league game. So it's absolutely normal. They have a very good relationship. At the moment, no. The answer I'm receiving at the moment, no. But let's see who will be the manager because this kind of decisions are always made with the manager to see what kind of director could be the best one to work together with the manager, together with Rangnick. So, for example, Mitchell already worked with Pochettino, but not with Ten Hag. So let's see. It depends on the manager.
Last question from Joel _Beya. Who are Arsenal looking at this season? Sign it next season.
Oh,
Sorry.
new fans because you're all helmets.
Yeah.
You will have a striker. You will have a striker 100%. They are on it, but they are waiting for Champions League spot to be guaranteed to have a new striker. But they are on it. And Bukayo Saka contract, end of the season, the talks will enter into the final stages. But the player is loving Arsenal life. I see many links with Liverpool, with many stories, but he wants to stay. And with Champions League football, I'm sure it will be easier if Arsenal will get Champions League.
What football? Sorry, Fab, what was that? What football? What football was that? Sorry.
Champions League. I don't want to say it loud because of you. You don't have. I prefer to wait. I prefer to wait till the end.
Oh man, Fab, thank you very much.
How many times do you need to get burnt?
Mate, listen, Steve, this is an off-show discussion for me and you. We've got a bet that we need to get down to. Thank you very much, guys, for joining us. Fab, you have been fantastic. Steve, you've been Steve Howson. I don't know what that means, but I'll see you guys next week. Peace.